Gaffer, Christmas period, Boxing Day fixture against Gillingham. First and foremost, nice to be at home over the festive period.
Yeah, it is to be fair. I've travelled away as a player. It's never nice travelling away on Christmas Day or Christmas night, but it's a festive period. You need to spend it with your family at times, and players are living up and down the country, so it's nice they can relax on Christmas Day. We done it last year as well. I've seen teams come in on Christmas Day and get beaten Boxing Day. I've seen the other completely different thing, so it doesn't make much of a difference, to be honest. And I trust the boys, and I'm sure they'll look after themselves.
Yeah, the players have to look after themselves. You're not a player anymore, so I'm guessing Christmas Day you'll have all the trimmings, etc., etc.
I'm prone to a little bit of a bit of turkey, so I'll have a little bit. Yeah, my mum and dad will come over and stuff, so it'll be good. But we've got two really important days today and tomorrow in training. We'll get a lot into the players in terms of Gillingham, and we'll look forward to it.
Yeah, Gillingham have had a mixed results. They tend to win one, lose one, not really much consistency, but I guess that demonstrates the league in its entirety.
I think they've been on a decent run up to the Bolton game. I think probably having that 14-15 day break killed them in that game a little bit, but they're a good team. They've got a good manager. It's going to be a tough game. We watched their last two games. They played very well against MK Dons, and they look strong. It's going to be a really tough game, possibly one of the toughest we've had over recent weeks. So we're under no illusions. It's going to be a really tough game, but we need to make sure that we stamp our authority on the game like we have done over the last 5 or 6 weeks, and if we do that, then I'm sure we can match them on a day.
Yeah, they ran close last season. They brought a lot of experience in. Paul Konchesky at left back. They've got newborn J. Emmanuel Thomas. A lot of power in that front three.
They have, Bradley Dack and Cody McDonald. They've got a lot of experience. It's going to be a tough game. There's no two ways about it. But we're looking forward to it. We're in a good frame of form ourselves. The boys are confident. Momentum's building. We need to make sure we stay, level-headed, feet on the ground, and just take every game as it comes. The next one's Gillingham. I'm looking forward to it.
You've also got Leanne Gold back from suspension. He gives you another option up front. Obviously, Paul Taylor is still waiting to assess, I guess.
Yeah, just waiting on Tails. I think Tails will be fine. He's a tough nut, to be fair. I just seen him this morning. He's improved again. So, we've got Leanne Gold back. We've got Marcus Madison back. We've got George McCurr back. So, brings the attacking options, through the roof for us, really, in terms of where we were the last game. When you look on your bench and see you have a lot of midfielders on there. It's nice to have 3 attacking players coming into the squad, and definitely boosters us for the game.
Yeah, you said over a long period about the fitness of the players being really good, and Ben McKenzie's done a lot of work in that. When you have 2 games over the Christmas period, is that something that comes into your mind in terms of freshening it up, or do you just go with the strongest team available?
I haven't really thought that far ahead. I think if you're probably talking about the Coventry Scunthorpe game, I haven't thought that far ahead. The only focus is Gillingham. Then we've got a 5-day break before the Coventry game, so we want to make sure we get 3 points against Gillingham, move on to the Coventry game, and we can assess people then. But I think over the years I've been in teams where there's been 5, 6, 7 changes, and it's almost derailed teams sometimes. So I'm not one for chopping and changing and changing the whole team for a game 2 days later. The boys' fitness levels are good. It's possibly just energy levels that we'd need to look at. And like I said, I trust the players. They'll tell me if they're fatigued or not, and we can make a decision further down the line. But like I say, the only focus is Gillingham.
And just finally, how pleasing would it be to end 2016 with 2 decent performances against Gillingham and Coventry?
Massive. I'm hoping the fans can come out. You were saying to me this morning, the queues are through the roof for the FA Cup game, but I hope half of that queue are buying tickets for the Gillingham game as well, because this is more important to us. We need to make sure we try and climb the league. We need to make sure we try and catch Rochdale. That's the first priority for us. We want to do that. We want to keep trying to climb it. If we can get 6 points over these 2 games, it would be a brilliant achievement from us all. So we need to make sure we try and do that.
I just want to ask you a quick question about Junior, because we're announcing that at 11 o'clock. Junior Morias coming, obviously a player that you've been tracking for some time, know all about him. What will he bring?
Junior's been in training with us now probably for the last 6 weeks. we've been getting him up to speed. He's been doing a lot of work with the fitness coach. He's been doing a lot of work with myself and gloves and finishing aspects. And he brings power. He brings pace, physicality. He's strong. You know, he's exactly, you know, the type of player I think the Peterborough fans are like. He works hard, and he's enthusiastic. You know, he's been dying for this chance. You know, when I spoke to him and said to him, it's not like they offer you a contract, because we had him down in a couple of games to have a look at him first. You know, he was made up. The boy wants to prove a point, and you know, players like that, you know, hard to come by. People who want to prove things, and they do anything to score a goal. And that's what Junior is. He's a lovely lad as well. He knows all the boys now. He's been here for 6 weeks. It's not as if a new player is just coming in January and, you know, putting things, you know, derailing little things and that. And it's always hard when you do that in January. But he knows everyone, and I'm sure he will definitely help us.
Yeah, I think fans know him from the FA Cup. He scored some great goals for St Albans.
Yeah, he is. He's a good finisher. He's got rocket of a right foot. He can hit the ball very hard. You know, in one of his training sessions here, I think he went through TAF, which is no mean feat to be fair. And TAF didn't train for 3 days, so he's a strong boy, really strong boy. And really, you know, welcome him to the club. And I'm sure he'll do it for us. And
just finally on the transfer front, you recalled Harry Anderson from Lincoln. He's had a very enjoyable and successful spell there, and that's all part of his development.
It was great, you know. When I was speaking to the chairman this summer, and I was saying, listen, these lads need to get some games, blah blah. Harry was the first and foremost, because not that he wasn't going to be part of our plans. I felt as if 3 or 4 or 5 months development, that a good team, a good manager in Danny Cowley. I phoned Danny and I said, listen, you need to have a look at this lad Harry Anderson. I actually phoned Cheltenham as well and sent him down there before Lincoln, and they didn't take him for whatever reason, which is, I'm sure they're probably regretting now. Well, I know they are, because they told me that the other day when we seen them. So he gone to Lincoln. Obviously I know Danny. I spoke to him, I said, listen, you need to take a look at this boy. If, you know, in the conference, I think if you've got 2 good wingers and a good centre forward, you've got a chance. And Harry's gone down there and he's you know, he's proved it. He's been brilliant. I think the Lincoln fans loved him. We've called him back because he was there to progress and to get more stronger and things like that. And I think, listen, if he was called upon in the first team on Boxing Day or any time after that, he wouldn't let us down, because he's a great kid, great attitude, and you can't have too many of them about the building.
Yeah, I think he's shown he can play in a couple of positions as well. Versatility is key when you go into the second half of the season.
Yeah, he can play mid, he can play wide right, he can play inside, he can play right back. He's got a lot of different positions in his locker. So definitely something that I was looking at probably a month, 2 months ago. I've been out to watch 3 or 4 of his games, and he's been really impressive, and delighted to have him back.